Coach, you have an opening statement?
It's always, come on.
All right.
Okay, kind of cool. This shirt, kind of represents a lot within these two programs. I mean, this is a Coach Tomey thing. You've got the Hawaii logo because he did an unbelievable job and really brought a Polynesian presence to the U of A, which is awesome. And obviously Coach B being a Coach Tomey guy and Coach Salavea, and it's a special opportunity. I mean, the schools have only played 6 times, 5-1, but Hawaii won the last one in 19. We get the opportunity to be the 122nd football team to take the field for the University of Arizona, which is a great privilege that Seth and I have to be able to coach these guys because every team is different. Since 1899 minus 1903, 1906, 1907, 1918, 1943, and 1944, we fielded a football team. And there's a lot of pride. The 95th and the 91st team, 1994 and the 1998 team, those two teams are probably the best two in Arizona history. We talked about that last week. Talked about how the first team responded, okay? The second team didn't respond as well. And then coming back in 99, they went 12-1, the 99 team, pick number 1 in the country, Sports Illustrated, all that stuff, and they go to Penn State, and that's probably the most disappointing loss, okay? 86-30-5 all-time in openers at the University of Arizona. That's a pretty good record. All that means nothing. We're playing a great opponent. I really appreciate Coach Chang and what he's building over there, and when Gene Jones had that place rolling, they kept all the kids on the island. And they've got some players that do it the right way. Offensively, and we'll get to those in a minute, but there's a couple guys on there. Number 28, his last name's Pico, Vaifuna Pico. On kickoff, that dude plays the game the right way. Like, I want to go shake his hand before the game because that dude is violent. He all the stuff that me and Coach Doege talk about, he tries to take your soul and he runs down on kickoff. And he's a defensive lineman on kickoff. Peter Manuma, number 1. Played against him a couple years ago at New Mexico. He plays the right way. He'd be an unbelievable bear. Him and Genesis, what a fun competition that'd be. And I think Genesis might be the best bear that we've ever had in this scheme, going back to Reggie Tung at Oregon State, who played for the Chiefs for a long time, Brian Urlacher. Brian Urlacher and Chuck Cecil, very similar people. Don't put them to cover people because they can't. Genesis can do it all. He can be a linebacker. He can be a post safety. He can cover somebody. And so the coaches that had Chuck Cecil and Brian Urlacher, they were smart. They didn't make them cover. They weren't good at it. So, and guess what? They're in the Hall of Fame. So they use their talents to what they're good. Taking on a team like Hawaii, who plays violent, they play the right way. I think I'm impressed by how hard they play. And I think the biggest compliment a coach can get is how hard their kids play. And Coach Chang has those guys flying around and doing a phenomenal job with the football team. And if you go back to the 2017 San Diego State team, that team beat Stanford and beat Arizona State to start the season. Well, Hawaii just beat Stanford. And so they're excited. They did a great job in the middle 8. They won the middle 8, scored a touchdown off of a penalty that Stanford created themselves. They have a great drive to finish the game. They win the final 4 minutes of the game. They had to overcome a 10-0 comeback. After a sack fumble in the end zone, they're down 10. Didn't phase them. That means they're built. Okay. We think we're in a good position. This football team. I think they're desert built. This football team is desert built, and we're going to play like it on Saturday. I'm excited to play. And like you asked our players, are you tired of running into each other? They can't stand running into each other anymore. It's time to hit somebody else. And so I can't wait for them to get here. I'm so fired up to watch this dude coach on Saturday. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm excited about the game as well. Obviously, I've never been a part of a Polynesian heritage type game, nor have I been in this culture before. At USC a little bit, but it's a major deal for our players, and I've gotten to know guys like KD, just recruiting him through the portal, getting to know his family, and how important that is. So it's important to me now, and I'm excited to be part of it. And then going off of Coach's evaluation on Hawaii's football team, we were talking about it this morning. They play extremely hard. They're coached really well. Specifically on defense, they play what they do really, really well. And then they have enough mix in their bag to cause problems and to make you practice different type of looks. So they can present problems for you just because they're never going to be out of position. And they're going to make you earn everything. And then you add on top of that they're playing really, really hard because they're playing you see on Twitter all the time, just because I've looked up Hawaii stuff. my feed gets stuck with Hawaii stuff all the time, Hawaii football stuff, and all they talk about is playing for, Hawaii. That's Hawaii's football team, and I think they're taking a lot of pride in that. So I'm excited because I'm excited to have a team that's going to be hungry, come in here and challenge us, and see what we're really about. So.
Well, with KD, very important game for him, but what have you noticed about his evolution as a center, and what is it like to see that relationship grow with him and Noah leading the offense?
There was the first phone call I've ever had with KD when he got in the portal, I was sold because of his energy, and then he gets on the visit, his presence, and then his family is phenomenal. I wish you could meet his mom and dad. They were just like great people. And he was so grateful for the opportunity. But you knew, like you could watch the tape, and the tape that I kept going back to was when they played Hawaii, he played left tackle, or not Hawaii, UCLA, and he was playing left tackle, and he looked like he belonged, right? He looked like he belonged, and that's what sold me on his skill set. And then bringing him in, it was like, okay, he's kind of he can do it all. He can play tackle for us if we need him to, but he could be a great inside piece. I think going into it, we were thinking, hey, he could be our left guard, he could be our right guard, like depending on how things shook out. But we got to a point where we're like, okay, we need some center help. And Coach Oglesby and myself kind of went through the roster, and we're like, who could do it? And it was one of those things, well, let's just see if KD can. It was one of those things like maybe just as an emergency center. And the next thing you know, he takes it, the bull by the horns and just rides with it. And now he's like, I am so comfortable with him being at center, like almost as if I recruited him here just to play center because he's so smart. I'll be up here all night long, and I'll walk back in that O-line room, to your question, and Noah and Katie will be back there about midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Just those two, maybe Ked, maybe Trey Spivey, maybe Sam Olsen. They've all been in there, and they're back there watching tape and going through the calls and going through the looks. These guys love football. KD loves football, and he came here for a reason. That reason was to prove to everybody that he's capable of playing at a Power 4 level. He's a walk-on for them. He earned a scholarship, but he's got a chip on his shoulder to prove to the world that he's a Power 4 football player. And there's no doubt in my mind he deserves to be here, and there's no doubt in my mind that he'll play well at the center position.
For both of you, having the film now of Hawaii, it gives you an idea of like what they do, but do you assume that they're going to want to change things because they made mistakes, so that actually puts you at a disadvantage because the stuff that's on film might not be what they do?
I think the biggest thing or biggest concern for us, I think most football teams and the really good football teams, they make their biggest improvement between week 1 and week 2. Now, teams get better as the season goes along, but you're going to see your vast improvement in that time. And they got to work out some kinks. I can promise you this, they won't fair catch the ball on the 1-yard line this week. And so that don't work to our advantage. Offensively, Michael Alejado is that dude's a dude. He's tough. The high ankle sprain that he took to miss one play. We have a deal around here on defense, and there's that new penalty rule about injuries and stuff. Well, our mantra, it's know what to do and how to do it. All 11 to the ball in a bad humor and keep them out of the freaking end zone. That's what we live by every day. And then the next slide that comes up is, get your tail off the field. If you're almost dead, we'll come get you. That's the bottom line. Like, it doesn't matter. ACL, freaking broken ankle, doesn't matter. Get up, hop off. If you can get up and hop off, figure it out on the sideline. So we shouldn't be impacted by that rule because I think it's a mentality when you see people go down. They didn't have anybody go down. Micah got up. He got himself off the field, and then he missed one play and was right back out there. So they're tough. They're tough as hell, and he's listen to this stat. 125 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in high school. In his 2 games as a starter, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And he's probably their biggest rushing threat because when he scrambles, it was the biggest one of the game on Saturday. So how are they going to adjust if he can't go? I don't see there's no he can't go. That dude will be out there in a boot if he has to, and he's going to freaking scramble and get positive yards. And how the O-line can protect him better, there'll be vast improvement between week 1 and 2. So I would have loved to have played last week solely because I'm tired of running into his guys. And they have a little bit of advantage there. Now, you're supposed to be the freshest you are all season on game 1, so our guys should be a tad bit fresher. But, they played a physical football game against a Stanford team that they went all the way down to the very end.
I think week by week, you always, no matter how many games they play or what they have on you, what you have on them, you're going to get some type of new flavor of how they play a certain set or certain personnel, a certain situation, whether it be third down, red area. So you got to be ready to adjust whatever game it is on the fly, and that's what I mean. Good game day coaches is and now it helps that we have iPads now and we have TVs and we have all sorts of stuff, so we can see what they're trying to do. But you go into a game always assuming you're going to have to adjust something.
Jason and Justin. For Danny, you said in the past stopping the run is top priority, but when you face a team like Hawaii that you mentioned, the QB might be the biggest running that they're going to pass more than they throw. Do you change, without giving Coach Roy, do you change your approach, or is it still, stopping the run? When you have a team that may not worry about balancing it?
We will always have enough numbers in the box to stop the run. Like, they don't want to run it. And Timmy actually ran it more Saturday than they did last year. A little bit different flavor, too. We'll present some pictures that look like they can run it and see if they can. And I hope they try. And if they have success, good for them. We'll see. But our idea is always to have more +1 them in the box. And the biggest challenge, like I said last week, if you can play man coverage, you can always +1 them. If you can find a way to +1 them in zone coverage, you can make things really hard. And that's one of my favorite things to do, numbers-wise, is how can we make a picture look a certain way and then end up with a free guy. And that will always be. Now, if you can cover them, I mean, you got all kinds of options to get to the quarterback. If you can't, then you better give your kids a chance to be successful. They've got their 2 best receivers. Number 5, Bofele Ashlock, the leading receiver coming back from last year. Number 3, Nick Cynical. Those 2 guys were both over 600-yard receivers and over 60 catches. I mean, and Micah was thrown to him as a 1 or 2 quarterback all year long, so we know we have to have a plan for those guys. And then they bring in a transfer from Kentucky that's the 10-3 kid, Brandon White. Their running back, Landon Sims, who he's the kind of football player you want on your team. He's a 4-core special teams guy. He can run the football, but he's great in pass protection. Now, he check released a ton on Saturday, which they hadn't done last year a whole lot. So now that adds a new flavor to, one, not everything's going to be 6-man protection. So finding ways to win with 4. And then how we're going to, we had a whole elaborate plan on that dude staying in the box, and guess what? For the whole game, he didn't. So like Coach Doege talked about, adjust and see how we handle it. But we will definitely try and stop the run first and foremost. And Timmy said all summer long, and we got to play golf at Pebble Beach, that they're going to run the ball. They did more Saturday, so I can't wait.
For Seth, are you coordinators kind of different on this? Do you believe in scripting plays to kind of get your quarterback in the flow, or is that something you don't do?
Yeah, I think everybody does to an extent. I just may be a little bit, my list may be shorter, because I've gotten to a point where, if you script the first 10 plays and you get off schedule, what's the point of having the first 10 scripted? Because you're off schedule at this point. You know what I mean? So I keep my list a little bit shorter. But yeah, we have an opening drive, a series scripted. And if we stay, like I said, on schedule, then those plays stay on time. If we get off schedule, then you're adjusting to a whole nother set of plays.
Justin? Danny, we just talked to Julian, and I know it's a big game for him playing against Hawaii. What have you noticed about his transformation over the last couple of years and how he's been able to get into that rotation? The
best thing is if you look at him. I mean, he's completely transformed his body. He's 280 pounds. Sorry, that was driving me crazy. He's 280 pounds.
Choose violence.
That's right. Okay, it listed at 208 on our depth chart, so we screwed that up. But he's really focused. Sorry, that thing was driving me crazy. Choose violence is right. He's really focused on developing his game. Obviously, Jonah gave him an opportunity growing up to be against one of the best old linemen. I mean, the dude's in the NFL. So watching what Julian has done in a short time and the development from last year to this year has been super impressive. And he's earned a spot in the rotation. He's one of the inside pieces that has enough twitch and enough power and enough strength to do everything that we asked him to do. I'm super excited to watch him play. And he has a bunch of friends on that team, just like KD. I mean, KD even more so, and Riley Wilson. They know a bunch of those guys because they were either teammates or grew up with them. So it'll be a big deal for him. And I'm super proud of Julian for what he's done to give himself a chance to play.
And when you were looking at other options at that nickel spot behind Stooks, what made Gavin Hunter the ideal player in that role?
Maturity won. When I first got here, we had some challenges with Gavin butting heads with everything, and that's a part of a lot of kids. So give Gavin a lot of credit. One, he's grown up. He attacked the offseason with Stooks being hurt, knowing there's an opportunity, and I think that happens for a lot of people. But he took advantage of it because there's a lot of people that get an opportunity and just assume that the role's going to fall in their hands by default, and that plan never works. And Gavin took the opposite approach to that, and I think he's had by far the best camp that he's had, a lot better than last year, better than the previous year, talking to the coaches that were here. And then little tiny details are the difference between him being that next step even further. And he's working his tail off every day. I mean, he's one of those guys that stays behind practice every single day to catch balls and do drills. And so I have a lot of confidence that we can get Stooks some reps, but I don't think he has to play the entire game because Gavin's earned that opportunity. And then we got other guys like, going into the spring, I didn't feel that way about Gavin. So we had AG inside at the cat safety all spring, and then moved him out to corner. And we didn't have to move. The idea was, okay, we'll give AG and Boog, Javion Cole, a little bit of work inside. We haven't had to because I think we've got some depth pieces in there between Coleman, Patton, and Gavin that it's afforded us a awesome rotation at corner. I think we have 4 guys at corner that I consider starters, and we can rotate them. When you can do that, it's hard to throw deep ball after deep ball after deep ball.
Yeah, I second that, man. After watching Gavin through the spring through fall camp, totally different player. Like he's, in the spring you might think, oh man, here's the guy you go after. Well, now, he's in the right spot. He's not giving up big plays. He's making he's making plays on the ball, which he needs to be. And then you can just tell he's a way more confident player too.
We have time for 1 or 2 more. All right. Thank you, everybody.
That was easy. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Can't wait.